Hello everybody, this is Janice. Today I'm going to be sharing a couple cards with you. This was my playing card. I was just playing, like I say, and it actually turned out pretty nice, and so I decided to just go ahead and finish it. But I really wanted to use my Cricut, and so I came up with this one, and so it's basically the same card, only this one I tore the paper because I was just trying to just get an idea of what shape I needed from my Cricut to fit this nativity scene in. And I went to Elegant Edges, which to me is Old Faithful. I love it. I got, let's see, it's button number 7 on Elegant Edges, and I cut it at 3.25, and I also cut the shadow, and this is on the oblong button. Okay, so let me just show you. All we're using is basically a whole bunch of cream colored paper. It came from a Recollections cardstock pack, this one, Cape Cod. Actually, it says Cap Cod. I think, oh, there's the English. Cape Cod. Okay, so basically it's going to be this kind of card, A2 size card, oriented this way. This is just a piece of 8.5 by 11 cut at 5.5 and folded at 4.25. And we are going to start off with our corner rounding. I wanted to try a different kind of corner rounding. I wanted to do the 1/2 inch and just round 2 corners. I saw that on one of Sandy from Operation Right Home. She made a card. She had a sample and she had cut it that way, and I liked it, so I wanted to do the same to mine, and I like it too. Now, my 2 layers here, one is cut at the same exact size as the card front, which is 4.25 by 5.5, and then the next layer is cut at 4 by 5.25. Alright, and then here's our cut from Elegant Edges. I'm so glad Arlene had the idea to get that cartridge when she did. Thank you, Arlene, because I love that cartridge. Alright, so we're going to work with these layers for now. Actually, we're going to work with all of these layers. We are going to use seedless preserves and just ink up the edge of this layer, because this is where our pop of color is coming from. I really wanted to just use make it coordinate by using all the same colors of ink. So if you don't have a piece of pattern paper or cardstock or something, you really need a certain color, this is a great way to get a coordinating piece, okay? Because this is what this layer is going to go on. See how nice that is? I really like that. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside. Then we're going to, with the seedless preserves, we are going to stamp our sentiment, which I am totally in love with. I got this from Michael's, and I'm stamping it with the seedless preserves, and then I'm going to heat emboss it. Because this ink is so wet, you can actually heat emboss with it. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that as close and as straight as possible. I stamped it upside down once, so I was checking it. Okay, and then we're going to get our clear embossing powder. And I did not do my embossing buddy. That's not good. but this is not white, so it'll be okay. I did it on all the other layers. Distracted with that noise in the background if you hear. It's Adrian on the Lego site. Okay, so let's heat this. Okay, now when you're using the distress ink to emboss, you don't want to over emboss it because over time it loses its shine. But I don't know if you can see the shine on this. Open my window a little more. I'm not sure if that helps or not. But anyway, look at what it says. It says the most precious gift of Christmas arrived in a very small bundle with no bow. Isn't that great? Of course, referring to Jesus. All right, now we're going to take... This is the Polka Dots Hero Arts background stamp. And I'm going to take my old paper distress ink. I'm going to put it all over. And if you wanted to have kind of a grungy look, you know, just basically don't apply even pressure. Just kind of go around and just kind of do like a random tap, and you'll get kind of just an uneven look. I'm going to use the other side of this, and I'm going to ink the edges, and I'm just using one of these large sponge daubers, which I really like. I think I want to get some more. I clean mine and just use it with all different colors. But I can tell that there's some green on this one, and that's okay because it works with this card. But yeah. Okay, so that's it for that. So that layer goes on here, and we're going to add some stickles to it and let it dry while we work on the rest of the card. Set that aside. And then to this, we're going to add some stickles just to give it a little bit of shine. And all I'm going to do, and this takes a steady hand, so you might not want to have your morning coffee. I'm just kidding. I had 2 cups of coffee already, and my hand is steady today. Not always is my hand this steady, and I got to work around this camera, which isn't that easy to do because I can't. I'm trying to just keep it on the edge, just on the very edge there. The faster you move your hand, the straighter your line will be. If you want to be fussy, that is. Oh, it won't really matter, truly. It'll just be pretty. And then I had to stop because I felt like I was getting my hand in it. I did get my hand in it, but it's okay. Alright, so now this will dry. We'll work on the focal point. Okay, now for this, I cut a white piece because I really liked how it kind of appeared to glow. So we're going to work with this. This is, I got this last year from Michael's. It was a whole set, and it has other pieces to it, and it's a really pretty set. I'm not sure if they have it this year. I didn't notice. And then I'm using something that I've had for a long time. It's clear embossing ink, Boss Gloss. And it's great because you can apply ink to any surface very, very easily. So, and I've had it forever and I rarely use it, so I thought I would use it here. So what I'm doing is just lightly tapping this dauber here all over the image. And it's pretty thick, but it doesn't seem to harm the ink pad, because I'm about to use my milled lavender on this, and then we're going to heat emboss and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to get stuff ready. And I've got a background stamp here that I also got this year at Michael's, and I absolutely had to have it. Beautiful. It says, Jesus, how do you remember your first Christmas? Did you wonder at the sound of your own new voice? Can you still feel that love that wrapped you snugly in swaddled clothes as Mary held you close? Could there ever have been too many kisses on your downy little head? Can you still hear Mary's soft lullabies? When Joseph first held you, did your heavenly Father look on with longing? Did you wave your amazing little fingers for him to see? Did the star look as bright to you from Bethlehem looking up? Did the hay tickle your toes? Did the little lambs nuzzle their noses in your face when Mary wasn't looking? Were the shepherds out of breath when they arrived? When the wise men finally arrived, did they understand how amazing it was to see that the Lord of all creation would humbly crawl into our world on chubby little hands and knees? Yeah, that is... love it. I need to make like a... I think I'm going to make like a little plaque and hang it somewhere. Probably I'll do that today because that is really beautiful. And I don't know who the author of that is, but it truly is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to now stamp the image with milled lavender. And I learned this technique from Tim Holtz. He has some stamps called Reflections. And because if you could read this text, which you're not going to be able to, but if you could, it would be backwards, because it would be the mirror effect. Then I'm taking the seedless preserves, and you're not going to be able to, to read it. You could do this with any kind of text you have. A script one would be pretty. And then you just quickly, without shifting it or anything, just press it down. Get your piece. Move that out of the way. And I'm going to try to center this as best as I can. On here. And look how pretty that is. Then we're going to take our tweezers, put this, and again, I forgot the embossing buddy. I'm so excited to show you this. I'm pretty sure I did this on some of my cards last year. So that's pretty all by itself. However, we want to take and let it cool a little bit. Now we're going to take our old paper again, and I'm just going to go in the middle of this and just apply color, but only to the center and then to the edges. This has a lot of grain on it. And again, this is the resist technique that I love so much. Okay, and then we're going to get a cloth, a clean cloth, and just wipe off any excess that's on top so that it stands out. And then you can take your, seedless preserves and just add a little bit of that too. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing to the shadow with the, not milled lavender, with the seedless preserves. And we're just going to ink it so it could be a pretty coordinating shadow effect. Okay, and that's it with that. And then this gets popped up. Well, I'm not going to pop it up, I'm just going to apply it there. And then at the end, I'm going to add stickles to the very edges of this too. Okay, some and then I'm going to get a piece of twine, and even though it says no bow, I still added a bow. But I used twine because I wanted it to look, like barnish looking, as he was born in a barn. And where's the part? Okay, here we go. So that's going to go there. And this gets added to the stickles is still wet, so I'm not going to do it right now. And then I'm just going to go around the edges and add stickles like I did to this one. See the glittery? And this purple doesn't match this purple, so I'm kind of having a problem with that. So I think I'm going to go with what I did in the first one, which was this hemp right here. Natural polished hemp. I don't know what that means, but this hemp is really hard. I rarely use it because it's very stiff. So I'm just going to basically have 3 layers here. I'm just going to tie a big bow, and that way it has that hay feeling to it. Just tie it really, pull it really taut. Okay, and then we need to cut off these little tails. That. And then this can get added. You can do it to the top, but I'm going to do it to the bottom where the hay is. And I'm using these are homemade glue dots, by the way. You use aliens, tack it over and over, and just use this parchment paper. Leave it for a few days if you want to make sure. And they make great glue dots. So that'll go there. And I did add a bling for the star. These are Recollections ones. There's a piece of hair there stuck to my bling. This is a long video, I know. I hope it's worth it. You can always fast forward if you didn't know that at the bottom. Any parts you didn't want to watch. And then again, that whole thing gets added there. And there is my first Jesus Christmas card of the season. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.